I have Miss Wickenhofer here. Remember the non-disclosure from Friday?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Miss Wickenhofer, good morning, or I guess good afternoon. So is there anything else that you have found as far as us being able to grant it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I apologize for last time. I guess our videos were posted on YouTube and I just kind of feel exposed right now. I don't think it was y'all guys, but I got kind of upset about it and all kinds of people were
Look,
just-
there's no need, really. I get, and we all get emotional, we all get upset. It's not a big deal. And I have lawyers here that they get upset. We all get emotional because there's a lot at risk. There's a lot at risk.
Yeah, well, I'm just upset that someone was recording me during this and posted it on YouTube. And there's like, I don't like my business being out there like that. I'm a very private person. And now I just feel kind of,
I mean,
privacy is
I
kind
live
of-
stream the proceedings so that everybody gets a view of how court works, everywhere. So
I understand. It's just, I didn't know that. I knew that it was live stream. I just didn't know other people could come in and record it because I have nothing better to do. So that's irritating. But anyways,
what would you like? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I have looked at the statute. I don't think that I can grant your non-disclosure.
That's fine.
Had you done a deferred on the DWI, which is typically what non-disclosures are reserved for, we could grant the non-disclosure. But when you take a time served and it ends up as a conviction, that stays there and it's like that for life.
I understand. I thought I did do deferred. I know that my license got taken away for a while but I thought that was, I was actually texting my lawyer and I thought I did do deferred.
No, no. I wish, look, ma'am, Ms. Wickenhofer, I wish I could. Because I really like it and I love it when people try to better themselves, but I can't.
I understand. I just need something in writing that tells me why I'm not eligible and something specific. If you could send that to me.
I'm not going to do that. I mean, what I can do is I can just give you the order that says denied, but I mean, I'm not going to give you a reasoning. I'm telling you, you're just not eligible for it. So
I understand, but the people that I'm working with are telling me that I am. So is there any way that your secretary or someone could just jot down reasons as to why I'm not eligible? That way we can get something going on, because I've already told you this, but I've already hired people to work on this case. So I need the reason why, or if you could just tell me why and I'll write it down and I'll send it to them.
Judge, well, I mean, we live streamed, the state gave its position. They could use that.
I mean, I'm not going to.
I just need to know why I'm not eligible. Why? Give me the exact reason so I can write it down.
You pled guilty to the case and you took a conviction. As a result, you're not eligible for the non-disclosure.
So that's it. That's the only reason.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Or they're going to put the order in the queue and I'm going to sign it. Okay. You should be able to get a copy of it off of the district clerk's website within like 2 to 3 days. That way you can also have a copy of it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause that would help me out. That's why I feel so lost. Cause it's been a while. So I don't even
I
know
wish I
really
had better
what
news
happened
for you,
6
man.
years ago. That's a long time ago. So,
Yeah. Okay.
okay. I'm pretty sure they have it. So you said the only reason is because I played guilty and I took a conviction.
Correct.
And I didn't take deferred. I'm going to ask my lawyer because I don't have it in writing, but she should know. And then
You can also, when you go to the district clerk's website, you can also pull a copy of the judgment as well. All that's there it's public record. So you can pull all those documents there from the district clerk's website and you can see what you did. So it's right
Okay.
there in black and white. So it's everything's there for you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Yep. Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my screen box?
Now go. Wickenhofer.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Here, I'll show you my video. Oh,
Thank you for coming.
yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I've been trying to get in this whole time and it was giving me problems. I apologize.
So you have filed a petition for non-disclosure on a
Yes.
DWI.
Yes.
The problem is that, and the way that I read the law is that non-disclosures are used when someone has done a deferred adjudication, they've successfully completed it, and then they are allowed to, because they've completed successfully, have whatever case they did the deferred on sealed so that the general public cannot see it. You took a conviction on this case. If I remember correctly, you took a straight conviction on this case. So I don't think that you're eligible for a non-disclosure unless you can show me differently.
I mean, it happened like 6 years ago. So, I mean, I thought by the state of Texas, you're allowed to get a non-disclosure, not expunged if you only have one offense of a DWI.
No, the law, no. What matters is what happened on your case. The time, the length of how long it was ago, the numerical, the number of how many you have doesn't make a difference as far as whether to grant this non-disclosure or not. So unless you can show me differently, I just don't think that you're eligible for a non-disclosure. I mean, look, Ms. Wickenhofer, I love to grant non-disclosures because I love to see people trying to better their lives. So if I could, I would, but I can't. I absolutely love it when people try to better themselves. It's great. But you took a straight conviction. I think if I remember correctly, it was like, let me see, I can pull it up here.
My thing, it was my lawyer's decision. And to me, like, it's my life. So at the end of the day, my lawyer decided on what to do, and I didn't really know what was going on.
You can't say that because they go over all the plea paperwork with you. They tell you exactly what's happening. And
well, why would I file for guilty or anything if I don't want it on my record? That's my thing, is I wouldn't file for guilty if I want it.
I mean, I can't really get into your mind about what happened about 5 years ago. I don't know what was going on in your life 5 years ago. All I know is that you pled guilty to this offense. You were sentenced to 4 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you had. And I didn't
even do days in jail, though. I didn't do any days in jail.
Sorry?
I didn't what you're saying right now is not what happened. So I didn't do 4 days.
You got what's in essence called time served, meaning that you walked out of here because you pled guilty and you got a 90-day license suspension. The sentence technically is 4 days in jail. We gave you credit for the 2 days that you did, so you didn't have to do any jail time.
Oh, okay.
The only thing you did was incurred a 90-day license suspension. I even rolled your court costs so you wouldn't owe anything, where normally people pay around $3,500. So we also did that for you. So, but by virtue of the plea, you're not eligible for disclosure.
But I just, to me, that doesn't make any sense. So just because I pled non-consent, or I needed to plead non-consent, to me, like, I don't go out and get into trouble all the time. I'm no criminal. So to me, like, I didn't know those things, and I don't believe that those things were communicated to me, that I had to plead a certain way. So that way, later down the road, when I'm trying to get it off my record, and it's not even about bettering my life is better than it ever has been before. It's not about me trying to, it is better. And the fact that I didn't know that, I don't feel like I should be tormented or felt, disciplined because I didn't know exactly how to plead, because I haven't ever been through this before, if that makes sense. I've never been through this before. So to me, I shouldn't be disciplined or held against my will because I didn't know exactly how to plead. I've never done this before, and I don't have guidance on how to plead because I don't know a bunch of criminals just hanging out telling me how to work the courts. So to me, it's kind of messed up because I don't know exactly what to say or when to say it. I just listened to my lawyers at the end of the day, and I still obviously didn't do the right thing. So if you could please understand that circumstance, because obviously I wouldn't have purposely meant to do this to myself by accidentally pleading the wrong thing. Obviously, I meant to plead the right thing so it can come off my record. I'm a teacher at a junior high right now. I'm actually at work now. I have 2 little kids. I'm trying to teach my business, but obviously I just want it to be non-disclosure so I don't have to ever file for this anymore, and it doesn't have to stay with me for the rest of my life. Like, God
Well, you
forgives,
need to
I
understand,
forgive,
though,
other people can forgive.
No,
So
I know that you're upset with the news. But a couple things. Number one, no one forces anyone to plead guilty around here. Everything done around here is with everyone's consent. And you signed plea paperwork to that effect, indicating that you were advised, you agree with it, and you came up here and you voluntarily pled to the case. I understand you now
but why
have
would I do that though? Like,
well, how am I supposed to know why you did that?
okay, well, I
That's
made a
on you.
mistake, Judge. I made a mistake. I don't know about these things, is what I'm telling you. I don't get in trouble. I don't know what to do. I'm doing what the people tell me to do. And if I would have known that pleading guilty would lead me here, I wouldn't have done it. I did not know. I was unaware
I
and
advise you to the
uninformed.
fact, like everybody, that there's no buyer's remorse. This isn't like Target. When you plead guilty, you can return it because you don't like it. This is a lifetime decision, and every person that comes up here, we ensure that they understand that they are making a lifetime decision. Once you plead guilty, that's it. If you have any issues, you can always go back and talk to the person who represented you. But I'm telling you now that
That was 6 years
it is what
ago.
it is.
I don't
So
even remember who represented me.
you
Like,
should be able to look it up and you should be able to find, okay? I will
don't
say
even
this,
know
though.
who it is.
I will say this, that the type of remedy you are seeking, a non-disclosure, even with this type of order that is granted, it seals it from the general public. All agencies will still be able to see this regardless. So if you ever apply to the state to become something, they will be able to see this, right? All this does is it masks it from the general public. So like if you apply for, yeah, well, I'm getting more than what I should, right? But if you have any issues, what you can do is talk to a lawyer. They can
So
advise
it
you
stays on my
properly.
record forever, no matter what, even if I get it
I'm-
disclosed.
Ms. Wickenhofer, I can't give you legal advice, okay? But what I'm willing to do is that if you want, I can give you your money back. And if you want to, I can put this off for a couple days for you to talk to a lawyer if you'd like, to see,
Give me my money back for what?
for the filing fee. You had to pay a $250 filing fee, did you not?
Yeah, I guess that was in the easy expunction thing.
Sure. Oh, well, no, you had it waived, I think. Well, hold on a second. Let me see. You had it waived. She did a waiver, right? So that she didn't pay?
Okay.
Okay, so there's nothing to give back then. Okay. All right. So basically, long and short of it is I can't grant this for you. If you want, I can put it off for a couple days so you can go talk to a lawyer about it. And we can set you off for mid next week if you want. But I'm basically telling you how it's going to go.
I'm just confused though. How come y'all can't expunge DWIs if you only have one? I
can't-
literally
Ms.
researched
Wickenhofer, I
that.
can't give you legal advice. You need to talk to a lawyer about that.
Oh,
May
okay.
the state make an argument that
Please.
may assist the defendant.
This is the district attorney on your case.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the Government Code, Chapter 411, Subchapter E1, specifically 411.0735, which is the procedure for convictions on certain misdemeanors, the court only has discretion to issue a non-disclosure if they're convicted of cases other than DWIs, among other things. So DWI convictions on a misdemeanor plea are one of those cutouts in the Government Code in which the judge, even if he wanted to, could not grant a non-disclosure. So because the defendant in this case took a plea of 4 days county jail, which is effectively a time served. The state's opinion is the government code does not allow the court to issue or grant a non-disclosure in this case.
Because I pleaded guilty, but either way, what the judge is saying is that even if it's a non-disclosure, it's still probably applicable to see through other employees, like they're able to see it anyways. So I guess it really doesn't matter. Is that what you're saying, Judge?
Ms. Wickenhopper, I can't give you legal advice. I can't. As much as I'd like to, I can get in trouble for doing that. So, Mr. Haddad was nice enough to tell you why you're not eligible for it. The only thing I can tell you now is that if you want, you can go talk to a lawyer, and I'm willing to give you a short reset for you to go do that to see if there's something else. But you tell me, what would you like?
That's fine. I guess a reset, and then I'll call them and ask them.
Okay. Tell me what day next week you want to do this again.
Wait, can we do it at the same time? Like 10:30 through 12? That's 10 to 12. I'm usually off. So
Sure, of course. Tell me what day.
any day, I guess Monday.
Is that enough time for you to go talk to a lawyer?
Yeah, I'm going to call them right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember,
I have
lawyers,
them.
remember, lawyers are really busy, so be patient. Don't expect them to just jump at, just, you know.
It's not a lawyer. It's Expunged people. They're the ones who's working it. Not
Hey,
me.
remember-
Not a lawyer.
Talk to a lawyer. Don't talk to these people who are not lawyers, because they may give you shoddy advice. So be careful who you
Okay.
talk to, you know?
Okay. Yes,
If you
sir.
talk to some Joe Schmo who tells you they know. All right.
What day?
So what, do you want Monday?
Yeah, Monday sounds good. At what
Okay.
time?
All right, done. Same time, noon on Monday.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. See you then.
Take care. Bye.
Excuse me.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, let me say this. I apologize to the court for the disruption earlier. I was kind of frustrated. From downstairs, but I apologize.
Got to understand, when you go against people who have the power of arrest, when you buck up, it's never going to go well. And I'm telling you, more so when you're on the street. Here, we're easygoing. We've got thick skin. You're not going to hurt our feelings, But in life, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. You know what I mean? And it goes that way with any. I can't tell you how many more cases I got dismissed as a lawyer because I worked with honey than with butting heads with anyone. You never get anywhere, You're charged with interfering. You're
I'm
charged
trying
with
to interfere in
interference.
somebody. I don't even know this man's business, but Anna, can I tell you something? The
No.
only thing I did was walk across the street.
No. Let's not.
And the man body slammed me. He just picked me up and body slammed. I got civil charges. I've been to the attorney affairs. He was just over aggressive
report?
cop that just picked me up and Triple H. Oh, body slammed me because I don't even know. He said I was
Did you go-
jaywalking.
Did you go report it?
Yes, I reported it. He said I was jaywalking.
Well, look,
And now he's saying I interfere with his business. I don't even know what his business is. He interfering with my life. I didn't even pay him I didn't even know he was there.
do you have a lawyer?
I can't get one. He messed my back up, and I can't mess. I went to the
Let's do
chiropractor,
this. Let's do
and
this.
he messed my back up. He slammed me so hard on the ground that he dislocated a vertebrae. So now I have to go to chiropractor every day, because I can't work.
I'll give you a lawyer today.
Okay.
Let's see what the lawyer has to say. Perhaps he can work something great on your behalf that makes you happy. I don't know.
Okay.
So let's,
I watch you on the internet too. You're funny. Yeah,
want to do it today, or do you want to do it another day?
I'm
Because
gonna
it's
do
kind
it
of late.
later today. Well, we'll do it another day. We'll just be. I'll come back.
It's up to you.
I'll come back. I gotta go home. I'm late for my wife. She's crying.
Look, I'll send you with an application. We'll give you 2 weeks. Come back with it filled out. I'll appoint your lawyer then. But remember, be nice. I'm telling you, I'll give you the lawyer. The lawyer will look into the probable cause. If he or she sees there's an issue, he'll have him come back to me and we'll talk, and then we'll see, okay? But when you're out there, just be nice.
You're right. I got a bad attitude. I'm sorry.
Still want to go ahead and fill out the
I
application.
mean,
I'll take it
one
with me.
second. And let me, do we have one on file now or no? Yeah, because I don't have one on file. I'm gonna give it to you. Just fill it out. When you come back, we'll have you appoint yourself, okay?
Is there any way I can get that body cam footage of my attorney?
The lawyer will get it for you.
All right, thank you.
Wait, hold on, sir. Is that-
Let him sign for you.
Mr. Nichols, we will get it for you,
Thank you.
but just be patient, but we'll get it.
Are you gonna do the order for,
Pool. Good morning, Mr. Basie. Do you have a lawyer today? What are you doing about that? What are you doing about that?
Like the first time I came, I tried to beat to a teacher, but she was already talking to somebody to let you know that I ain't got that type of money for a lawyer.
Did you talk to any lawyers?
I tried, but they all like five. I ain't got that type of money.
How many lawyers did you talk to?
I called a few of them.
A few. A few is two, several is three. Couples two, several is three. How many did you talk to? What do you do for a living?
I was working.
So what are you doing now? You're not still not, are you working now? Why not? When is the last time you've had a full-time job? You've never had a full-time job?
The job I had paid on the table.
You were doing what?
I had paid under the table.
How old are you?
34.
You're 34 and you've never had a full-time job? Did you graduate from high school? So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life, Mr. Basie? And why do the people of Harris County get to pay for a lawyer for you when you do nothing all day? How is that fair? Why do I have to pay for your lawyer? Are you high right now? So tell me, how is it fair that you get to sit at home, play Xbox all day, and everybody here gets to pay for your lawyer? Why is that fair? So what do you do all day, every day? Mr. Basie, I'm making it a condition of your bond that you get a full-time job. And I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks and I want to see what you have done to get a job. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. But I don't understand why the people of Harris County get to pay for a lawyer for you when you do nothing all day. It's not cool. And let me tell you something else, Mr. Basie. Life will go by like this. And if you have no income, if you have no education, you're going to be 65, 7-year-old, not without a dime to your pocket, begging to get money just for McDonald's, just to get Burger King. You have this aura of arrogance, of like, yeah, this unfounded sense of entitlement when you've never had a full-time job. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. I'm going to send you down. You're to come right back. If you fail to take the drug test, or if you don't fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make you high. Do you understand? Not only that, but I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks and I want to see what you've done to get a job. Take a seat for me. What?
oh, Cabrera, page 6?
Good morning, Mr. Cabrera. Do you have a lawyer today?
Sir,
Tell me what you're doing about that.
I talked to some lawyers, and due to the stipulations of the bond, I had to move out of the house that I was living in because I was right next door to the complainant. I moved into a halfway house, lost my job, ran through the rest of my money, paying $225 a week. I'm looking for a job, and right now I'm living in the streets.
When is the last time you've had a job?
A month,
Doing what?
landscaping.
Why'd you stop?
I got fired.
For what? It's a landscaping job. How can you get fired for landscape?
I don't know Spanish, and man, it's a big old deal.
You have a prior theft, possession of marijuana, delivery, burglary of a motor vehicle, burglary of a motor vehicle, burglary of a motor vehicle, delivery, theft, PCS, trespass, unauthorized use, theft, assault, and now this. How many court-appointed lawyers have you had on all of those cases, Mr. Cabrera?
Too many.
Have you had a court-appointed lawyer on every single one of those cases? It's time for you to get a job. I'm now making that a condition of your bond. You need to get a job. Nothing is beneath you. It doesn't matter if it's working at a fast food place. A job is a job and you need one. And I'm now making that a condition of your bond. And I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done to get a job. And if you've done nothing, life will not be going well for you. Do you understand? And me. But it's time for you to do something worthwhile in this life. Why don't you go to a trade school? Why don't you learn a habit like welding, pipe fitting, doing something where you can really earn a living instead of being on the street doing nothing?
I have a mental disability. No, it interferes with my work. I've had over 40, 50 jobs since I was 17.
Here's what we're going to do.
Job over.
Here's what we're going to do, Mr. Cabrera. Can you give him a flyer to the Fresh Start thing, please? And then we're going to give one of those to Mr. Basie as well. We have a Fresh Start program that is on November 4th, where there are going to be employers there looking for people to give jobs. I want you to go to this thing, and I'm going to be there too. And we're going to see about what they can do, because they're going to be hopefully handing jobs out left and right. You need to be to this thing. Do you understand? Here's the other thing I'm going to do, Mr. Cabrera. I'm going to send you for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. Good. If you are, that'll make me very, very happy. But otherwise, I'll have you fill out an application. I'm going to send you now for a drug test. And then I'm going to send you now for a drug test. You're to come right back. If you fail to take the drug test, if you fail to come back, it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Sorry, I'm dirty right now.
Take a seat. We're going to see.
Cabrera, go ahead and sign for your visa.
Anyone else?
That's just the no PC and Cabrera.
The no PC, we're going to roll it to tomorrow. Cabrera, he's got it until, the close of docket. It's 1 o'clock. Otherwise, if you don't do it, we issue a warrant.
Signed representative Giovanni Cabrera. He was on docket yesterday. You sent him for a drug test. He came back after court was closed. And
Lucky he wasn't taken into custody.
I know, I understand that. And
The results came back, but this for methamphetamines.
Come up.
he's in,
Where's the rest of my phone back here?
he's in the small tank. He tested positive for marijuana and methamphetamine, which he said he knew he was gonna test positive. Well, I know, I'm just saying.
He tested positive for meth.
I'm so depressed. I'm homeless. I couldn't. I've been so clean for so long, Your Honor.
Homeless, not working yet, you can use meth, right?
I was so depressed, and I'm so paranoid about sleeping on the streets. I've been clean for so long, Your Honor. You don't know how long I've been clean.
Uh-huh.
And it's just my state of mind. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it.
Well, I have no choice, Mr. Cabrera, but to do one thing now. You know what that is, right?
I'm saving my life.
Good. That's what we want to do. We want to get you off any and all dope for all time. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that happens. He goes with you. All right?
Chip Lewis and I represent a young man who's on a pretrial diversion out of this court.
Say it again.
Chip Lewis and I represent a young man who's on a pretrial diversion out of your court. He's picked up a new case. We would like to do a walkthrough. We're optimistic the new.
Where is he now?
He's down the hall. Sure. I was just gonna ask if you'd rather do it at a certain time or,
No, now.
okay, let me go get
Let
it.
him,
Thank you, Judge. Chip and I are aware that there's a lot more to this story and we think it's gonna get straightened out.
let me express my extreme disappointment with you, Mr. Poole. You are on bond for an evading arrest, a criminal mischief. You've picked up an aggravated assault of a family member and now a terroristic threat. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. Shh. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The defendant is the complainant's ex-boyfriend. During a walk-in report, the complainant told the officers that her and the defendant had an on and off dating relationship since the 8th grade, but they broke up in June 2024. In September, the defendant told the complainant, "Stop talking all that mess before I come to your house and fucking shoot you." The complainant told the officers that right after the incident, the defendant sent her photos of a gun in his lap. The complainant stated the defendant also told one of the complainant's friends that he was going to shoot the complainant.
So what, tell me about the ag assault. What happened there?
Your Honor, in the ag assault, one moment.
In the criminal mischief, is it with the same complaining witness as well?
The criminal mischief's from a prior event where we had experimented trying a drug and kind of got crazy and broke stuff with it.
Yes, Your Honor. And then for the aggravated
Completely
assault,
unrelated.
it says the complainant and her friends went to a party, and at the party, they saw the defendant trying to get in, but was ultimately turned away because too many people were there already. While walking, the complainant ignored the defendant, and the defendant stated, "Are you going to apologize?" And the complainant kept walking. The defendant began cussing at the complainant and said, "I got it on me." And the defendant said the complainant said at that time, the defendant got a pistol from his ankle and pointed it at her. And then witness corroborated the complainant's statement. And Your Honor, there's also a pending terroristic threat out of Galveston as well for the same complaining witness. Yes.
Did you know about this?
I did not know about that.
Do you have an open case in Galveston as well? I think, Mr. Poole, that you are a complete and utter danger to our society. And I'm going to do everything in my power to protect Harris County from anyone that does any kind of damage whatsoever. I am now revoking your bonds on both of your other cases. Goes with you. I'm sorry. As much as I love you, it's unacceptable the way things have been going. And I think that you don't get the message. And now I hope you do. But I am now going to give you home confinement. You're not allowed out if you bond out of jail. I'm going to make your bond sky high. I think that you're a complete and utter danger to everyone. You flaunt our bond conditions. And it truly sad, Mr. Poole, because you have but one life. And when you have a gun and when you start using that, God forbid that you do some irreparable damage, that you dig yourself into a hole where you're looking at 50 to 60 years in prison, perhaps life.
Sir?
99% of people that are in jail are there because they have no self-control. They either use something, they are on something, and they get upset. They wig out without thinking, if I say this, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? It's unacceptable. And now I will do everything, like I said, in my power to protect Harris County. So if you do get out, you must remain home confinement. You're not allowed out. No weapons, no contact with any of the complaining witnesses whatsoever. No dope, no alcohol. Anything else? I mean, what does he do?
He's a student, Judge. He's a high school student. So
I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, he scares me.
understood. And Chip and I are going to put some things together. I think that there's a different scenario really going on than what this reflects in the probable cause statements. And we're going to bring that to the prosecutors.
If you have something that shows me different to what they have, I'm all ears.
Understood.
And
with your permission, Judge, if we'll get some time to put that stuff together, we can perhaps readdress the bond.
Yeah, absolutely. And I never want to see a kid lose out on school, because to me, it's the most important thing in life,
Understood. If we do home confinement, can there be an exception to that when he's at school and he just has to report immediately back to his home?
Is he like in high school?
It's a high school.
In high school.
I mean,
Yeah, Judge, he's actually currently, because of this situation, doing online school, so he'll be able to do it from home.
Oh, okay, good.
So disregard.
Good. There we go. Are you mom and dad? Come on up, come up. Thank you so much for coming. It's out of control. I don't know what else to do. But it seems that when he's out in public and he's out, partying, as they say, there's a wake of trouble. Did you guys know that he has a case in Galveston as well?
No, Your Honor, this is the first time I've heard of that.
Is it currently open?
It's currently open, Your Honor.
Something that the lawyers are also unaware of as well,
We think it's all one event that happened over a few hours. We don't know.
But it's not though. It's not. He's, 12 in December of 23, we have a criminal mischief, an evading arrest. Now, a couple months later, we've got Galveston. It's not. And I think that we need to really give him a wake-up call before he really does irreparable damage,
If I could just clarify the two events here in Harris and the one event in Galveston, we think that was all in the one series of events that happened between football games and a party on a hotel.
We need to figure out what's going on, to figure out why it's continuing to happen. I want what's best for your son. I really do. And I will help you in any way that I can. I have to put him in custody today because I have to show him that it's unacceptable what he's doing and picking up these tuna cases, especially the fact that he's picked up an aggravated assault. That's, you've got a great lawyer. We'll be here to figure it out with you.
And Judge, he's already addressed the bond on the felony case as well. So he's gone in and addressed it with the felony. We're just
Bond, huh?
understood.
So I'm making your bonds 30,000 each. I don't know if they're going to bond you out, but if you do get out, you better be on your best behavior, and you are not to go anywhere. What I'd like to do is, I'm going to take him in now. I'd like to do an evaluation. It's called a TRAS to see what the best way of going forward. We have clinicians that can sit there and evaluate him, talk to him, figure out what's going on. And perhaps boot camp is the right way. Perhaps, we have these other things that we have at our disposal to see how we go forward. Because I just don't know. I don't know what's going on in his life. I don't know what he's doing, what he's taking,
We did already as part of the PTI, and they do want to increase him to YMAX.
Say it again.
They want to increase his level of supervision to YMAX.
Who say that? Felony court?
No, misdemeanor, but this is a part of the PTI. He's already completed the TRS this year, so because of the new law violations and how heinous they kind of are, they want him to do YMAX.
Did you hear that?
I did. Judge, again, I think that these probable cause statements are giving a skewed picture of what's
So
really
that's
going
right. Let's not put the cart ahead of the horse. We'll give you time. And then if you see something different, just come back and let me know. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No.
If you need anything, always come back. We're here. We'll help you out in any way that we can. And sometimes some kids are harder to reach, but we'll do everything on our power to reach them one way or the other. So we got you. Okay. We'll take care of you one way or the other. Okay. All right. He goes with you. Oh yeah. I'm going to do a mow-up. So hold on, Stephen, hold on. Mr. Poole, I'm entering in what's called the magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies SM as a protected individual. You're not to commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where the person works. If you violate this court order, the state can and will file a violation protective order, and you violate those conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at no bond. Zero bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person of Harris County. Do you understand, Mr. Poole? Okay, all right, we'll have him sign it and then. Friday.
Happy Friday to you, sir. So the jail calls exist in two separate computer systems. So they do exist and a DA has listened to them, but their ability to listen to them is separate from them having their ability to share them. So they have requested the files be duplicated and that has not happened. So they do exist and they confirmed and they've listened. We don't have copies.
Have you listened to them?
We don't have them yet, Judge. They've been requested. They have not been uploaded.
But have you listened to them?
No.
So
to my understanding, can I listen to them before they're?
and speaking of Mr. Haddad, there was a note from a prosecutor that had. So
I just want to know if it's true.
So third person hearsay for Mr. Haddad, yes.
So Judge, there's a software called Virus in which the state can listen to all jail calls made by securities, I'm sure you know. But we don't have them in our possession until they're requested. I just saw a note from a prosecutor that they may have listened to a call, but that's, like Munir said, it's hearsay. I don't really know if that's true. I just know that we have requested them last week, but they're not in the portal for the defense to access quite yet.
Who listened to them?
That was the deputy or the investigator last week who made the phone call. I think the felony prosecutors.
So can they confirm what the allegation is? Because I don't want to keep him in ag seg if he didn't do it. I want to put him in Gen Pop if he's been good. But if he's not,
I will say Ag Sag versus Gen Pop, not going to change the safety of the victim. Change the level that she can be annoyed by potential phone calls, but he's not going to be able to harm anyone over the phone.
I mean, Judge,
you don't know that though, because who knows who he's calling, who knows what he's saying for something to get done out there while he's in here.
I don't think there's any allegations of him speaking to a third party about any of this.
Well, Judge, even though we may not have personally listened to them, we have the complainant that she's the one that reported it to begin with, that she was receiving the threats from this defendant. That's how we know. Judge.
How long until I get the actual phone calls?
They were requested last week.
So, Judge, they usually take a couple weeks to actually get them to evidence. I would say 2 weeks.
I'm trying to get the phone calls as quick as possible so that we can verify what the allegation is.
Don't speak. Don't. No.
You know,
Don't question.
I'm just telling you, from the last hearing that we had, what the allegation is. The complaining witnesses also come forward to verify that there have been threatening phone calls.
I can give you a recitation of the facts, not in front of all of these people. So I'll talk to you about that in the back.
When we mean no threats, we mean no threats. So understand, I'm trying to get it as quick as possible so that we can move forward. I don't want to keep you in ag seg if it's not true, right?
I know Miss Edie wishes to address the segregation unit inside the jail. I believe she wishes to do that on Monday. She's of course at a training today.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did admit to calling the complainant when he was before the bench last week. But I have notes in here that he admitted that. He just said, I was.
Can you get them as soon as humanly possible so we can make this definitive one way or the other,
Yes,
please?
Judge. They were immediately requested.
Do you think that we should subpoena the officer here? Would that make things go quicker?
No, Judge, I mean, generally, the jail has received our requests. It just takes a little bit of time because generally these are hundreds, thousands of calls that they have to put on the portal, Judge. It takes time. It really we just need a little bit of time. That's it.
My understanding with my conversation with Mr. Haddad is that they can be listened to by the DA now. So if you like, we could send somebody, I can go with the DA and
listen to it too?
Well, yeah, Judge, the problem is, again, there's thousands of these calls most likely. So to actually get to the call where we know the threat was made, is going to take a long time. We need the investigator to give us the date and time.
Imagine the logistics of trying to identify the phone call, the time.
Well, my understanding is it's like a filter. You just put in either the time and date or even the number dialed. So I think you would have the CW's number.
We put it off for one more week since it's already been a week.
Can we do 2, Judge? I think if we do 2, I mean, it's not gonna, and if we get them beforehand, Conrad will do his due diligence. He will contact Munir. We can get it on the docket earlier than 2 weeks, but I don't want to keep putting it on when Mr. Wiggins is not gonna get anything out of it.
I wanted said Monday to address the SEG because while I'm here and speaking confidently about one thing, Miss Edie is going to speak confidently about another, which is the segregation, and I have no information about how that works. I know she wishes to have a conversation with the court. So I asked to keep them on Monday.
Yes.
And assuming that they can listen to them, figure out how, perhaps we can all go into a room on Monday and do that very quickly.
Let's see.
Yes, Judge.
We can. Wonderful. Let's try it.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Mr. Wiggins, we'll see you Monday.
Thank you.
Hey. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Judge.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, I'm like, is it Monday?
How'd it go? What do you got?
We're back on Mr. Wiggins. The jail calls came through.
Sure. And
he does call her 3 times from the jail. They speak for a combined almost hour, I believe. He does talk about various aspects of this case, or not the BPO of the aggravated assault.
But the idea is that, and what you guys relate to us was that he was threatening.
I listened to about half of the totality of the calls.
He's not supposed to have contact with her regardless.
Yes, Judge.
To me, the scary thing was that what was relayed to us is that he was threatening.
So when I listened to the calls, what it sounded like is he's having people keep tabs on her and they're reporting back to him what she's doing. And these are,
like someone can't live their own life, you know? It's like,
yeah. And so that was what a series of the first call was about, is these people are reportedly getting back to him what her activities are, who she's talking to. And part of it sounded a little bit just like gossip, but if I'm being honest, Judge.
Please.
But he was telling her, he was talking about the facts of the aggravated assault, saying that she shouldn't have been there. She was warned when you hang out, not to be around this guy, Don J, and that when you're around gangsters, you get shot, and that it was kind of her own fault.
Which, while stupid, is not threatening.
So.
Well, I guess how it was said, right?
My understanding of it is it's more like, you done screwed up.
The way he's saying it to her totally could be threatening.
But my conversation with the DA is that they were not threatening calls so much as him just being too stupid to talk about what had already happened, and him to admit to on the phone to committing felonies.
But he's still trying to keep tabs on her. It's witness intimidation.
I think that keeping tabs on her is somebody saying, I saw her at the club kind of stuff, not I followed her.
When you hang out with gangsters.
If you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I don't remember where that was written, but it's generic language.
Be that as it may, where do we go from here?
If his phone privileges are brought back, then I don't know what's to stop him from speaking to the complainant again. When the first call he makes to the complainant's cell phone, her mother picks up and she tells him, "What are you doing? You know you're not supposed to talk to her. You know this is a recorded line." And he says, "I don't care." So.
Is he here?
Yes.
Can you bring him out?
Give me a few minutes, Your Honor.
Take your time. No worries.
He's in the separate cell. Do you want to give him the shut up speech or should I give him the shut up speech?
I've given it to him, so maybe
Okay.
good coming from Dad as well.
Okay.
A number of times the complaining witness is like, "You shot me," and he goes, "This is a recorded line, so I can't say things I would normally say."
We know how he really feels. He's no respect for women whatsoever. And it's unfortunate. Well, the thing is that as soon as he gets out of here, the way he is now, he's shown us how he's going to be. And the minute he gets out, he's going to continue to act the way that he's done. He shows no remorse. He shows no care for the rule of law. And it's unfortunate.
All great things to take into consideration during sentencing, Judge.
and bond conditions.
Well, bond
Because
conditions-
if I relent on the bond conditions, it's going to happen again.
It's not a condition
Shown
of
this.
bond. It's a restriction of his incarceration. He's not on bond.
I told him not to have contact with her. Not only is he using the phone to have contact with her, but he is using other people's spin to have contact with her. So he knows not only am I not supposed to, and I'm saying it on the phone, but I'm using other people to subvert, to be able to even have more contact with her.
Not arguing the case shouldn't exist, just arguing that he should be able to contact counsel and his other friends and family through his incarceration. At this point, he's restricted to solitary. He's in the same room for 23 hours a day. Some kind of movies in the past I've watched have talked about how that's bad for you. I could quote studies if I could find them.
Shawshank? You talking about Shawshank?
No, there was a great one with Morgan Freeman.
Shawshank.
No. Sorry. I should have rephrased that. With a very, very young Morgan Freeman, where he came out like feral because he's been locked in a cage for so long. This is like 20 years before Shawshank. By the way, the best Stephen King adaptation ever. Shawshank. Good enough that you wouldn't have known it was Stephen King.
That's true.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna give you the polite version. Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay. But really don't talk. Okay.
Jail. We're having a hearing, one of the multitude of hearings with you today, Mr. Wiggins, because your lawyers are asking me to reinstate your phone privileges. And the problem with this is that the only way that we can really restrict your phone privileges is to put you in what amounts to almost solitary confinement. Put you in a room where you have no access to a phone, because from what I've learned is when you're in general population, there's a phone on the wall and you get access to that phone whenever you want. We've repeatedly asked you not to have contact with the complaining witness, and you repeatedly do this. And you flaunt the rules and
I hit the pause button. Legally, his complaining witness is victim, the girl. Just making sure you understand who he's talking about. Okay.
And the really unfortunate part that I think in all this, Mr. Wiggins, is that the way you are now and the way that you've acted throughout this entire case is that when you do get out back into the free world, I think it's just going to continue. And I don't know if you've learned anything. Women, you have to respect them. You treat them nice. That's what we do. You should treat them with respect, care, love. And when you do, great things happen in life. When you're abusive, when you're angry, and when you do things of this to a woman, this is what happens. This is where you end up. And I truly don't know where to go from here, because if I reinstate your phone privileges and put you back in Gen Pop, I know it's going to happen again. You're going to continue to do what you say you're doing, what you're going to do. It's like when I tell my kid not to do something and they do it over and over, they tell me, sorry, okay, I'm not going to do it again. I know that they're going to do it again. So what your lawyers are asking for me to do is to reinstate your privileges, but I'm scared to do it. What do you think? Stay?
I'm going to defer to the court, Judge. I'm honestly not sure on what the best course of action is. He has been calling the complainant.
How long has it been in? A week? Week and a half? Maybe 2 weeks?
It's been about a week since you
Yes.
ordered.
10 days, I believe.
Since he's been in, or since he's had segregation?
Segregation?
Yeah, 10 days.
How's it been?
Boring.
What's going on with the felony case? Where are we headed?
So he has a setting on the 12th. I notified the felony attorney about all of this. The only advice she gave me was to continue working up my case.
Is there an offer in the felony case?
Which court is the felony?
There's in the 263rd.
It's the 263rd.
I know the court. I don't remember the judge's name. Not one to move slowly, though.
It's Melissa Morris.
No,
Thank you.
Yeah, Melissa Morris.
That's right. Melissa.
It's the classic. I have cases there, but I'm terrible with names, Judge.
There's no offer on the felony cases yet. Have they been indicted?
I would assume with him admitting to committing them on a phone, Judge, that the offers will be severe. And due to the nature of the conduct, I believe that the offers will likely be severe. Speaking with my client, I think it will be unlikely that he'll be able to make bail on the 5 or 6 cases, however many it is.
So if I reinstate the privileges now, how do we have him monitored so that we know he's not to contact?
The only way we could is to have somebody listen to the calls, sit there and listen. I don't know if they, as far as what we've talked about, I don't think they can just ban numbers.
If I reinstate it now, are you going to have someone that listens to the calls?
My job when I was an intern.
We would have to just continuously request them and see what numbers he's calling. So
the victim has been very on board, I believe, with the case and has contacted the DA's office when there's been an issue. I don't believe she'll have any hesitancy of contacting the DA's office.
Still talking to them.
Well, she spoke with him at the same time. She wasn't like, I want the case dismissed. I think her conversations were more, why the hell did you shoot at me?
And I will be clear, she's not the one who reported this to us.
Oh, the mother.
No, it was the deputy who was listening in. So
let's do this. I'll give him another chance. Okay. I mean, you're not getting out of jail. I'm just putting it back into Gen Pop. But I'm going to tell you now, if I find that it happens again, if you have contact with this person again, if you try to use someone else's SPIN number to make any phone calls, if you contact any witness in this case, I'm going to put you back into that room and you will stay there until the cases are done. Do you understand? What did I just say?
He's nobody spend them and don't call nobody on check.
Who are you not to call? Who?
What's names? What's the girl's name?
You don't have to say the name, just who is the person you're not supposed to call? The complaining witness. Do you understand? What happens if you do?
Go back to over there, solitary text.
They're listening to every single phone call you make. I don't know how much more I can stress this. It even tells you once you pick up the phone and make the phone call, we're recording everything you say. Do you understand, Mr. Wiggins?
I'll add one more. So they have you on a recorded phone call. Okay. That's just calling her is a violation of your bond conditions and the protective order. Should you do it again on a recorded phone, 2 incidents inside a year are automatically a felony. And it's the easiest felony to prove.
You will get hit with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7th felony violation of a protective order if you make the phone call again. Do you understand? Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
And if it happens again, I'm not going to entertain any motion, this, that, like, that's it.
Understood. Do we need to approach on dates or guys are? Meeting. Go to the.
thank you, Judge.
Okay. So just make sure to, just.
We'll keep up with the judge.
Good morning, Mr. Sanchez Vasquez. Mr. Sanchez Vasquez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, 2nd offense. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 100 days in jail. Credit for the 50 days that you've done. Is there an accident in this case, Matt?
I think
Alex?
No, Your Honor, let me pull up the case.
I think he was just found in the driver's seat.
There's no accident, Your Honor.
Okay, great. Wonderful. I want to make a couple things clear to you that from now on, you are not my problem. This is now a second DWI. When you pick up a third DWI, now they will charge you with a felony offense. Instead of days, you are now facing years. And you will be facing a minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison for the rest of your life. If you were ever pulled over in a car, even the most remote smell of alcohol, you could be in prison for a very long time. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you even have a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because you were taking a humongous risk. You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Now, is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above?
Yes.
Is it true or untrue that you had a prior DWI with us?
Yes, sir.
Is it also true that you had an open container in the car?
Yes, sir.
True to all the enhancements. How do you plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty, sentence you to 180 days.
100.
What did I say?
180.
Oh, sorry, 100 days in jail, 50 days credit, true to all enhancements. I'm going to suspend your license for 2 years. Is there an immigration detainer on this gentleman?
Yes, sir.
You now will be shipped off to immigration. The only other thing I'm going to tell you is that if you come back to this country, do it the right way. Ask for permission first, because if you get busted by the feds, you could be looking at serious time in federal prison. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Did you just get out of jail?
I got out of jail the day that my court date was scheduled at about 3 o'clock on the 24th. They said they could not find me while I was in custody.
So why are you here in shorts?
I just got a call from one of the attorneys that I had reached out to, and I didn't know that I had a court date. I understand. I'm sorry.
Don't come to court in shorts, and court starts at 8:30 in the morning.
I didn't know, though. I didn't know I had it until the
Okay.
attorney called me.
The benefit of the doubt.
I
for
just
the
ran
future-
down here because I didn't think.
Jamaican.
Yes, sir.
Future, court starts at 8:30, and you don't come in shorts.
I understand.
You're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're charged with criminal mischief. On both of those cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
I got it.
May I speak, Your Honor?
No. No. We are going to do probable cause. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Do you understand? We are going to do it. Don't say anything. Okay.
Judge, the complainant requested an Uber ride home. The defendant was the Uber driver. The defendant picked up the complainant from her apartment, but stopped just before the exit and began using his cell phone. The complainant believed the defendant was trying to cancel the ride, and the complainant questioned the defendant as to why he wanted her out of the car. The defendant stated to the complainant that she was taking too long. The defendant proceeded to exit his vehicle and walked over to the complainant's side and opened the door. The defendant then proceeded to pull on the complainant's arm and pulled her out of the vehicle. The defendant proceeded to punch the complainant with a closed fist above the complainant's eye, causing injury and pain. During the altercation, the defendant grabbed the complainant's cell phone and threw it, destroying it in the process. And
So she's trying to get an Uber ride with him.
Yes, Judge.
He's, I guess, trying to cancel it, allegedly. And then when she calls him out on it, he allegedly assaults her
Assaults her, Judge.
and breaks the phone.
Breaks her phone, that's worth $1,000, her phone.
Mr. Pinkham, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to do this anymore. You're not, I have to imagine that you're now no longer working for Uber. Am I right?
Correct.
I am now making that a condition of your bond that you're not to work for Uber or, I mean, do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
I'm running his LCS.
She doesn't have.
Yes, Judge. No criminal history, Judge. Driver's license is currently eligible.
What kind of conditions do you think in this case would?
I would agree, no contact with the complainant and no rideshare apps, Judge. No working for any rideshare company or taxi company would be appropriate.
How are you employed now, Mr. Pinkham?
I'm unemployed now.
I am making it a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case, not to be in possession of weapons, and not to do any rideshare employment. You can find other employment elsewhere, but no rideshare. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you violate these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail, and I'm going to tell you now. You got out of jail because we gave you a PR bond. You pick up a new case, you violate these conditions. So how are you supporting yourself right now?
I don't have any income. This is all new to me.
When was your last day of
I assume
employment?
that when the video,
We're not going to talk about the case. My only concern now is whether I should appoint you a lawyer or whether I should go have you hire a lawyer. For me to determine whether you qualify, I need to see whether you're indigent or not, meaning that you meet the federal poverty guidelines.
I doubt that I would meet the poverty guidelines.
So what we can do is we can reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Okay. I'll give you plenty of time. We'll give you 30 days. In that time, the only thing I'm asking you to do is just don't pick up any new cases and just don't violate these conditions. The only thing I'm not asking you to do much, I'm just asking you to follow the law. Don't have contact with a complaining witness, don't have any weapons, and no rideshare activity. That's it.
In relation to the rideshare, I have several people in the neighborhood who rely on me for, I'm not allowed to take those. It would not be a rideshare app at all. These are just people that I know personally.
I don't know how we would stop the defendant, judge, or supervise him. I guess you could. I would still be opposed to it. I guess if they're friends of his and he's not taking any income from it, I wouldn't be opposed.
My only concern is that I don't want something like this to happen again. That's my concern. Mr.
Understandable.
Pinckney. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, you don't know me from Adam. Why would you?
And the allegations are quite concerning to me, you know?
Of course, they'd be concerned to anyone. I understand.
So I don't want you to say anything that would put your, to hurt you anymore. So just be careful out there. So what we'll do now is I'm going to have you sign a reset Victoria. After that, we'll have you take your seat in the jury box. We're going to get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go after that. And when you come back, please have a lawyer. Okay?
And I followed the conditions.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is a capitalist joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Joke. Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're going to start bringing people in person. People going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it? Okay.
Come and go. I have no patience for that. And trust me, at the end of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.